Howdy folks, welcome to my Retro Media Room. Today I decided to talk about my top 10 most valuable Sega Genesis games. And starting at number 10, we have Boogerman, a pick and a flick adventure. So the first time I ever played this is when I rented it when I was a kid. Thought it was hilarious, and it's a fun game. It's actually well made for what it is. It's obviously a very goofy game that you would never see made today outside of maybe like an indie PC game or something. Then again, even on consoles, you see indie games left and right now, so who knows? But that's all it would be. So, yeah, this game is really, it's kind of held its value all throughout the years, really, for a long time. So I was not surprised when I, saw that this is still held its value fairly well. And yeah, it's a fun little game. For this or the Super Nintendo version, I would certainly recommend anybody to check out and try to get a hold of it, especially if you find it for a reasonable price. All right, at number 9, we have Captain America and the Avengers. So I haven't played this version as much. I played the Super Nintendo version for the most part. Same kind of like Boogerman. I rented it a lot as a kid. Didn't get to own it till later, a little later. It's a very tough game. It's a arcade game, so it's certainly got that eat your quarters design in it. But very fun though, very cool. If you're an Avengers or Marvel fan, there's like kind of like some of the characters here. Like that's how I was familiar with them, like Hawkeye and so on. This is one of the reasons I was familiar with them even before the movies and stuff, because I'm not a comic book guy, but cartoons, games, movies, that's how I've kept up with anything, whether it be Marvel, X-Men, or whatever. So this was one of my, along with the X-Men cartoon, this is one of the earlier things in terms of Marvel that helped me be familiar with some of the characters. So yeah, so it's a cool game. I recommend it. Okay, and number 8, we have The Lost World Jurassic Park. This was in my other video, my Jurassic Park collection video, where I showed gameplay, talked about, and showed all my physical Jurassic Park games. So check that out if you like Jurassic Park. But so this game is unique because and by the way, this is a reproduction case. This isn't an authentic case. Otherwise, this would be worth a lot more. But but the game and the booklet are authentic, so that's what that's where we get our value here. So this game is very interesting because it's a Sega Genesis exclusive to this day. Other than emulation, there's by the way, when I say exclusive, and I just assume there's emulation for virtually everything now. I don't really deal with emulation very much, but when I mean this is the only way to play it, this is the only authentic way to play it, is what I mean, right? Just bear that in mind. But it's a good game. It has very good graphics and animation. It has an interesting way of exploring this kind of these small open maps, and it's a cool game. I recommend it. It's one of the better Jurassic Park games throughout all the Jurassic Park games. It's one of the better ones. I would say in like the top 3, top 5. So yeah, pretty good. Okay, and at number 7, we have Sonic and Knuckles. So this is a very interesting game here because take a look at the back. So as you can see, you got the cartridge here. That's Sonic and Knuckles, and you can lock it with Sonic 3, lock it with Sonic 2. I'm assuming you can't with Sonic 1. It's not showing it. So I guess with 3 and 2, you can add to those games. So very cool. Very cool what you can do with this. Very innovative at the time. So the slipcase actually just kind of stays in the plastic here. So let's do that. And you got the cart and booklet. I also had this in my Sonic collection video. So I recommend that if you want to take a look at my Sonic collection across my Genesis. That's where I kind of showcase all the games there. Not gameplay, but at least unboxing of everything. So yeah, this is very cool. And I actually didn't realize for a while that this was this was the most valuable out of all my Sonic Sega Genesis games. So that's cool. So I learned something new there. Okay, number 6 here, we have 2 games, Maz and Saga Mutant Fighter and WWF Raw. So the reason I went ahead and did both is because they're worth about the same. They're worth pretty much the same right now. And this is the only 32X game I have that's really worth much. All the handful of other 32X games I have really aren't worth that much. So I figured I'd just throw this in here as an honorable mention along with this. So first look at this. This is one of the WWF games I didn't really play very much, even though it's the same engine. Yeah, this engine I played quite a bit with WWF Royal Rumble, which I played the crap out of growing up on the Sega Genesis. So, and this is just another one of those. This is just another iteration of those games, the same engine. So all of these are good. And I actually need to check this one out. That might be a future video. I need to check this out and see what it feels and plays like on the 32X, because I really love this engine and I love these WWF games. They're really fun. And then you have Mutant Fighter. Very cool looking game. I got a hold of this because it was getting harder to find, getting more valuable, harder to get. Looks like a cool game. Now the thing that also the same case with WWF Raw was that it had no booklet, and neither does this. So if I had a booklet, if each of these had their booklet and they were actually CIB, complete in box, they each would be well over $100. So unfortunately, this is just what I have them in. But hey, because I have the case and the cartridge, that's where it puts their values at as they are. So not too bad. Enough to put them at number 6. Okay, and at number 5, we've got Robocop versus Terminator. So I've covered this a little bit on my most valuable Super Nintendo games. So the Super Nintendo version has that really awesome, unique box that I love. That's kind of what, physically, that's what makes that really cool compared to this version. This version is kind of basic in comparison. But here's the thing. I think the Sega Genesis version actually I think it actually plays better. It's easier. It's a little faster. There's more adult content. Like there's more violence and types of characters in this that they took out of the Super Nintendo version that they didn't take out of this one. So basically the Super Nintendo version is slightly censored and this one is not. That kind of goes back to the Sega does what Nintendo don't era. So yeah, so this is actually and that's why it has the MA13. So very cool port of this game. If you want to sit down and really seriously play Robocop versus Terminator, I think this version is the better one to play, in my opinion. Okay, and at number 4, we have Gargoyles. Now, once again, this is a reproduction case, so that's, doesn't add any value to it, but at least we get to look at the box art. Very cool game. I originally rented this as a kid, and of course you have the booklet and the game, so that's where the value is coming in. Is that just that combo? If I had the case, authentic case, it'd be quite a bit more. So, but anyway, very cool game. They actually just released a remaster of it, remake of it. And I think you can play both the old version and the new version. It's got remaster graphics, original graphics. Very cool. I actually want to get that, download it. I think it's like $30. Well, actually, no, it's actually maybe 15. Yeah. So very cool game. If you want to play it, that's the best way to play it, is just download the current remaster of it. So yeah, very cool game. And I love the animated series, of course. I grew up with the animated series. Keith David is a legend. Awesome series. So I recommend the cartoon if you ever want to go back and watch a good Saturday morning cartoon. Okay, number 3, and this one was actually a surprise. I didn't remember it climbing up this much, is Batman, the video game. So I was fortunate that I got a really nice, complete, clean copy here. And I just got it because I was just kind of I just got into Batman game mode where I was just determined to get all of the old Batman games. And, well, this one shot up to way more than I paid for it. So happy about that. And the weird thing is on this box, thankfully it's not affecting the art, but there's a line right here. There's a little tiny cut along the seam here, but that's okay. It doesn't affect the art though, so it's fine. Now, an even crispier copy at number 2 here is Batman Revenge of the Joker. So this game is interesting because I got this as I was getting the regular Nintendo version. And I actually prefer that version, believe it or not. They're quite a bit similar, but I like that one slightly more. But this is a very good game. I got a very nice crispy copy here, and like I said, I found it while I was shopping for the other, and I figured, oh man, somebody had this for a fair price, and I thought, well, this would be cool to have too. I might as well. It might even be a superior version to it, because some of these Sega ports are just the Sega Genesis version of NES games, kind of like Battletoads. And then it went up and up and up in value as time after I bought it. So very cool. I just love having all these Batman games too, because I love Batman, and I love a lot of these games. All right, finally at number 1, it's a great game too, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyper High Stone. So fantastic game. It is a unique port to Turtles 4 and Turtles in Time, which is, of course, that's my personal favorite, of course, the Super Nintendo port of that game. But basically, on the Genesis version here, they kind of took that same engine, the same mechanics, same engine, similar level structure, but not exact. They kind of mixed it up and gave it new levels and new, it is essentially a different game, but it's similar, but it's a different game still, with different levels and different, all sorts of different things about it. So it's a really cool game. It's a very unique version of this. It's only on the Genesis, but thankfully, and this took time and money to put together, even at the time, because I bought the cartridge by itself for $50, like back in 2012 or something, 2013. Yeah, 2013. So long time ago. And then the case and booklet I got separately. So yeah, I pieced it together over time. So yeah, I'm not shocked that this is my most valuable Sega Genesis game. But like I was about to say, the current way you can play this is you can download it on current consoles with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection. And that's a fantastic way to go back and play all these classic Turtles games. But it hasn't really affected the value of this much, because it's still a collectible, and it's a great game. All right, well, that was my top 10 most valuable Sega Genesis games. Sorry, I was kind of out of commission there for several days there. I've been sick, but I'm starting to get over it. But I really wanted to put together a video showing these, because I hadn't looked at my Sega Genesis games in a while like that, and actually discovered some of these that I hadn't looked at in a while, and was pleasantly surprised. So I hope you liked the video. Please like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit that notification bell to keep up with my latest, and I'll see you next time.